So we begin with someone's mic is not muted, and thank you for muting all your mics so that you can clearly hear me speak with you. Thank you. All right, so our core values at RCEC is focused on empathetic care, I said, right? Care that is based on mental and emotional care, right? We care with love, we care in safety, we care, allowing you to take ownership of your own health. Because once you know what you need to do to keep yourself healthy, you will be in control of your health, right? So firm boundaries. We allow you, we place firm boundaries so that you do not at any point in time feel that, oh, they need to do everything for me and stuff like that. I want you to know that you are in control of your health. And so these are one of the things that we do at RCEC. This morning is the third town hall session, and we would be talking about health, wellness behaviors in seniors. The guest speaker is already online, and so I would introduce her briefly so that you get to meet her, right? She's somebody that I really respect so much, and for her professionalism. She's a clinical psychologist, the passionate one, right? She is the lead psychologist at the Soccer Mind and Behavioral Clinic, right? She provides support for many organizations. Among those organizations are the Bayes University, United Healthcare International, Mental Health and Wellness Initiative, among many other organizations that she provides services for. She facilitates in different training sections. I have been in one of her training, and I will tell you that you are in for a very good session today, right? One of the programs that I attended where she facilitated was the mental health first aid, right? And in that program, I tell you, I gained value, right? So this morning, I'm going to be introducing to you our guest speaker. She's popularly called Happy Molabo, right? When you meet her, you know why I called her Happy Molabo, right? The clinical psychologist, Oretade Molabo. You're welcome. Thank you for agreeing to speak with my elders this morning, and I'm happy that we are doing this together. Welcome. Thank you. Molabo, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Saz. Good morning, Maz.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. Daddy, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ma.
Good morning, Papa.
God bless you. Love you.
Amen. Love you, Papa.
God bless you.
I'm honored to be speaking to you this morning, and I'm looking forward to our interactions. This is a town hall session, a town hall meeting. So we all will be involved in today's conversation. Okay. Please, I would like to share my slides. Nosferayoma, can you please make me co-host? Let me see if I can share, because it's saying I can't share the participant at the moment. Okay, thank you. Okay. Alrighty. Okay.
Another one.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so can we see my screen now?
Yes, please.
Awesome. Okay. So, like I was saying earlier, this is the March Town Hall session for Rehoboth Elderly Care. Okay. And this month, we're going to be discussing wellness behaviors for seniors. My name is Molabo Oretade, and I am a clinical psychologist. Nurse Morayo has already said so much about what qualifies me to be the one to speak to us on this matter today. To give you a little more background to myself, I have been a psychologist for 10 years. Yeah, no, I would have been a psychologist for 10 years by July this year. And then I would have been a psychologist for a licensed clinical psychologist for 6 years by, oh, this is March. Okay, so I've been a licensed clinical psychologist for 6 years already. Yeah, so I've been practicing all the while, and I've worked with people, with seniors, people would call senior citizens because they're advanced in age, they are retirees, and I've worked with people from other levels of life. But because our seniors are the focus today, I will be focusing on my work with you. Alrighty. What are wellness behaviors? First of all, I would even like to know if we know what wellness is. You can please share your answers in the chat room. What do we know wellness is to be? Mr. Giwa Haruna, I see you raising your hand. Do you want to share an answer?
I think it's in an error.
Okay. That's dealt with. Alrighty. So does anyone want to tell us what wellness behaviors, what they understand wellness behaviors to be? Let me look in the chat room. I haven't seen anything from anybody yet. Wellness, what do you know wellness to be? Let's focus on wellness first. What do we know wellness to be?
If you permit my seniors to unmute and speak, right?
Yes, please. You can unmute and speak.
Yeah, so that way they would communicate faster as against typing.
Yes, okay, yes. That I think I agree that works better. Yes, please. Anyone that has an answer can unmute and speak. What do we know wellness behaviors to be?
Hello, can I make an
yes,
attempt?
Yes, please go on, Papa.
Wellness is the totality of the state of a man's psychological, physical, and emotional state of mind.
That's awesome and true. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So he said it's the state of health of a person's, physical and psychological and social health, and that's very true. And so who else wants to tell us what wellness is? Yes, thank you, sir. Does anyone else want to tell us what wellness is? Okay, let's carry on. So, like we have heard, wellness is the state of our physical, social, and psychological well-being. Yeah, even though our social well-being is part of our psychological well-being. So usually we just say it's part of our physical and psychological well-being or part of our physical and mental health. Yeah, it's the state of our physical and mental health. So wellness behaviors are practices that can improve our physical and mental health. You can also call them healthy behaviors or healthy behavioral practices. Yes? Okay. So, wellness are Wellness behaviors are like habits. When we keep at something, when we keep doing something, our actions, our behaviors are made up of actions, yes? And our actions are smaller parts. Everything we do is an action. Even when we speak, it is an action. Our action is a very good measure and reflection of our mental and our physical health. If someone has a headache, you might notice they wince, or they may act slowly, or they may hold their head, and then you know that this person is not feeling too well. If someone is feeling warm, they are feeling hot, they are feeling feverish, you would see it in not just their countenance, but in the things they do, in the way they are responding, in the way they are behaving. Yes. So our actions are also a reflection of our physical health. Now, when our actions can be a response to the way we are feeling, and it can also be a a factor to predict the way we are going to feel. That we can use it to influence the way we are feeling. Now, when our behavior is a response to the way we are feeling, it's immediate. But when a behavior is an action to influence the way we are going to feel, it may not be immediate. That is why we have to practice, practice, practice. I'm going to tell us more about this when we get to neuroplasticity. Alrighty. So, how do wellness behaviors work? Like I said, I'm going to break down neuroplasticity now. Neuroplasticity is a concept in brain health that explains how the brain has the capacity to adjust and change as we have experiences in life. Our brain is like a ball of wires. Imagine a ball of different wires that connect to each other and connect in different directions. Usually, from when we are born until we die, every new information we gain creates a new wire connection. Our brain cells are known as neurons or nerve cells. Now, these nerves are like wires. And that connection, that ball of wires, makes up our brain. Different aspects of our brain control different things that we do and different areas of our health. But if we were to look at it as a whole, they are all connected wires. So, as you can see in this picture here, you can see different wires, different colors for different arrows in different directions. That's how the different wires, in quote, our nerve cells, our neurons, that's how they all connect to each other. Let me give an example. When a person learns to walk, when a child learns to walk, first of all, when they learn to crawl, then when they learn to walk, a new connection is formed. The more you walk, the more that connection is strengthened. So as that connection is strengthened, it becomes thicker and thicker and thicker. And so the more we walk, the thicker it gets, and over time, it becomes strengthened. So it's like it's permanent, it's permanently there. But you see, there are connections, there's new information that we gain and we don't use. So when those new wire connections are made, if we don't use them, then they are going to wither over time. So the connections, the neurons that we use, the things we do more, are going to be strengthened. So they will be stronger and they will be more available. But you see, the ones we don't use, like I was explaining to a client a few weeks ago, I said before they even wither, those areas will be like dark corridors that we rarely pass. There will be cobwebs and other things there. So even when you're trying to, it's like when you gain new information, if you learned something 2 weeks ago, for example, and you did not use that information at all for 2 weeks, you will find that you need to make efforts to remember what you learned. That's because you have not been using that connection. So that particular connection is not strengthened, it's weak. But once you remember it the first time, you use it, you remember it again, and you do it again, the more you do it, it now becomes strengthened. So when you need that information, it is easy to connect. But when you don't use the information at all, then it's going to be distant. It won't be a well-visited area, and it won't have more connections. But you see, with every time we use a new connection, then we strengthen it, it lights up, and then it's easier to reach because it's now more connected to the areas we use more. It's like, let's assume a connection is like a road going to somewhere. The more you use that road, remember I call them corridors too. The more you use that road, then the more you find other ways to access that particular road. But when you don't use it, then you are not going to discover new ways to access that area. And that's really how it works in our brain. That's what makes that capacity, that function of our brain is what makes it able to adjust and repair itself. And that is what we call neuroplasticity in mental health. There's a part under neuroplasticity that we call neurogenesis. And simply put, it is the fact that new connections, new nerve cells, new neurons are created with every new information we get. That is neurogenesis. But all of it altogether can be referred to as neuroplasticity. How does neuroplasticity help us? Neuroplasticity helps us in that when we do something, when we learn something new, and we keep practicing and practicing and practicing, then it strengthens that thing we learn. Our brain adjusts to that, and then that new practice begins to serve us in positive ways. What this means is that when we practice healthy behaviors, then our brains adjust to this new practice and they use this to promote our health. In the past, people thought that you cannot learn anything after childhood. People thought that after you say, maybe by the time you graduate from the university latest, anything that you have not learned by then, that you cannot learn for the rest of life. But that is not true because we have discovered neuroplasticity. What this means is that, yes, it is easier to learn things when we are younger. But as life goes on, we actually learn throughout life. And it is never too late to begin practicing any new habits that are going to promote our health. Do we understand so far? Does anyone have any question yet? If anyone has a question, please, you can raise your hand, you can unmute your mic and speak. Okay, so can I assume we understand since I haven't heard from anybody?
Yes, please.
Very interesting.
So good.
Awesome. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, sir. So, there are different wellness behaviors, but for the purpose of today's town hall session, I'll be focusing on a few most critical ones. Yes, we are going to be starting with sleep. Everyone who knows me knows I'm an advocate for wellness. I'm always preaching preventive health. Why is preventive health? Why is it better to practice preventive and healthy behaviors as opposed to cure? Because when our mental health is affected, same way when our physical health is affected, the organs and the systems affected are already injured. So by the time they heal, they're not going to immediately go back to the best level of functioning that they were before. So prevention is always better than cure. Okay, so let's go to the first wellness behavior we're talking about, sleep. As a senior, 7 to 8 hours of sleep is recommended for you. And I know this can be a little difficult because as the body ages, the circadian rhythm is the body's internal clock. So the circadian rhythm can begin to weaken like other organs in the body, like other systems in the body. So How can we strengthen it and make it work better? By practicing good sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene is everything we do that helps us sleep better. Good sleep hygiene are the good practices that will help us sleep better. Poor sleep hygiene are practices that are neglecting the ways that we can sleep better. Okay? So, 7 to 8 hours of sleep is recommended. And to achieve this, we usually recommend that you have a bedtime routine. What is a bedtime routine? A bedtime routine is a set of actions or practices or a set of habits that we engage when we want to go to sleep. You may remember that when we were babies and you were taking care of us, you would usually want to help a child know that, when children are born, they don't have day or night times. And then within the first few months, they sleep most of the day and all of that. But as time goes on, as they grow a little older, as they get to 1, 2, you want to start teaching them to sleep at night and then probably take a short siesta in the afternoon. At those times, what you do is that you prepare them for bed. Interestingly, our bodies are the same. They are just bigger and more developed. So when you engage your bedtime routine, you are preparing your body for bed. You are giving your body the message that it is time to go to bed. So that anytime, no, not just anytime, but every day, when you engage your bedtime routine, when you start your bedtime routine, then your body knows that it is time to go to bed and it begins to relax. You see, there are two major, let me call it two departments. There are these two departments in our nervous system that are in charge of our sleep and our wake, our being asleep and our being awake. These two systems are the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems. They are under the autonomous nervous system. Let's call the autonomous nervous system the automatic nervous system. You see, in our nervous system is made up of our brain and our other nerve cells. Our nervous system has different departments. And one of those departments is the autonomous nervous system, which I am calling, for the purpose of this class, the automatic nervous system. It's called automatic because we don't have any control over that part of our system. We have control over some parts of our body. I'm moving my hands, I'm moving my tongue and my lips as I speak. I can blink my eyes, I can nod my head, I can move many parts of my body. But the parts of the body that are controlled by the autonomous nervous system are not within our control. An example is digestion. Another example is sleep. Another example would be blood circulation. So there are aspects of our body that are not within our control. And in our nervous system, that department is called the autonomous nervous system. So let's just call it the automatic nervous system because it works automatically. Now, under this automatic nervous system, we have two units in that department. One is the sympathetic nervous system, and the second is the parasympathetic nervous system. Our sympathetic nervous system is in charge of our active cycle. So when we are active, when we are excited, when we are awake, when we are working productively, doing all of that, our sympathetic nervous system is in charge. But when it's time to sleep, when we are resting, our parasympathetic nervous system now takes charge. So our parasympathetic nervous system is what puts our body in the relaxed mode, in the rest mode, so that we can go to sleep. When we go to sleep, our body now engages processes that are necessary for us to function while we are awake. Some of those processes are consolidating our memories. Our memories are everything we have experienced that day. When we go to sleep, our brain consolidates them so that we can have them available in the future. Also, when we are asleep, our brain cleans itself. We have what we call gray cells in the brain nervous system that take care of the brain. They clean it and make sure it's maintained. That happens while we are asleep. Also, while we are asleep, our body goes around, our body looks around itself and finds the spots that need repairs and repairs them. That is why you find that if you have an injury, if you get an injury today, by tomorrow, after you have slept overnight and you wake up, it will feel better because the body has started repairing it overnight. And then the more nights pass, the more you sleep at night, the more you find that it's healing better because most of those processes happen while we are asleep. Our body also refuels itself. It refuels and makes sure that our energy reserves are filled again, and then our body is ready to perform the next day. So these are only some of the processes that happen while we are asleep. And that is what makes sleep very important. Now, remember I was telling us about engaging our parasympathetic nervous system, which is in charge of making our bodies relax so we can rest. To do that, normally our circadian rhythm helps us do that. But as we grow older, the circadian rhythm the body's internal clock may not work as quickly or as effectively as it used to. So how can we engage the parasympathetic nervous system, considering the fact that it's not within our control? You can do this by turning off our electronic devices. When our electronic devices are on, the light that they send to our eyes gives our brain the impression that it is daytime. It imitates the sunlight. When the sun is up, our bodies get the message that it is active time. It is time for us to be working. It is time for us to be going about our day. When our devices, our TV, our television, our phones, our computers, electronics generally, once these screens are on, they give our brain the impression that it is still daytime and we are still supposed to be active. So when we turn them off, our brain gives our bodies the signal that it is nighttime. Let the parasympathetic nervous system take charge. Let the unit in charge of resting and relaxing our body take charge. Also, the next thing we can do is take a stroll or do some stretches. Now, I'm not saying jog. I'm not saying brisk walk. These activities like strolling and stretching help relax our body too. So they tell our brain to get the parasympathetic nervous system to kickstart the rest and relaxation process. Also, we can take a warm bath. When we take a warm bath, it relaxes our bodies. When we take a cold bath, it activates the active department unit of our body. When we take a warm bath, it relaxes our bodies. Now, in this heat period, taking a warm bath, taking a shower with water at room temperature, the water that is coming out from the tap, as it is considered a warm bath. But if the water is cold and you take your bath with it, then it's going to make you alert. Okay? So you can take 15 deep breaths. I don't know how many of us are familiar with deep breathing exercises. How many of us are familiar with deep breathing exercises? I don't think everyone will be familiar with it.
I am.
Okay, you are. Okay, sir.
I am.
Okay, daddy too is. Okay. Alrighty. So this means that some of us are not familiar with the deep breathing exercises. Can I teach us deep breathing exercises?
Please
Yes.
go on.
Okay, great. So to do this, I need you to relax, sit relaxed in your chair, lean back. Then place your hand on your upper tummy, on your stomach, but up on your upper stomach, right under your ribs. When you place your hand there, you should be feeling your stomach move as you breathe in and out. Okay? So, now that you're feeling your breath there, I would like you to take a deep breath in. And then out. Let's do that again. Breathe in and out. So, are you feeling your breath? Are you feeling your stomach move up and down as you're taking those breaths? You can unmute your mics to respond, please. Unmute yourselves to respond.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Thank you, sirs. Okay, so please pay attention the next time we breathe in. I would like to know if your stomach comes up or goes down when we breathe in. So let's go again. Breathe in and out. Again, in and out. So, is your stomach going up or down when you breathe in?
Up.
Up. Good. Very good. Your stomach should be going up when you breathe in. If your stomach is still going down, not to worry. We'll work on that right away. So, as you're breathing in, I want you to think of your stomach as a balloon that you are inflating. So when you breathe in, think of it as I'm inflating my stomach, like I'm blowing a balloon in my stomach. So let's go again. Breathe in, hold it, breathe out. Very good. So is there anyone whose stomach is still going down when they breathe in?
No.
Okay. So I believe we have all learned how to breathe in. So the next step after learning how to breathe in is to practice how to breathe out. Now, when we are breathing out, we're not going to breathe out the normal way we breathe out every time. We're going to breathe out as if we're pushing all the air out of our lungs. As if you are pushing all the air out of your stomach. Oh, by the way, I should mention, we're putting our hands on our stomach, not because we breathe with our stomach, but because one of the organs we use to breathe, it's the diaphragm. It's under our lungs. It's in contact with our stomach. So as it rises and falls, our stomach too rises and falls. Since we cannot feel the diaphragm, we can feel our stomachs. So when we breathe out now, we're going to exhale as if we are pushing all the air out of our lungs or out of our stomachs. And we're going to open our mouths when we breathe out. We'll breathe out through our mouths. So we're going to go. In fact, I encourage that you do it with an exaggeration, like as if you are breathing a sigh of relief. So hold it. All at once, breathe out. Very good. Let's go again. Breathe in. All at once, breathe out. All right, very, very good. Well done, SARS. Well done, Mars. You're doing awesome. The next step we're going to learn is holding the breath in between. So we're going to breathe in, hold it for a few seconds, then breathe out. Remember that when we're breathing in, we're inflating, we're blowing up our stomachs while we're breathing in. And then when we're breathing out, we're exhaling, we're deflating, pushing all the air out of our lungs at once through our mouths in an exaggerated manner. So we're going to go breathe in, fill up your stomach, hold your breath for a few seconds, then breathe out, push all the air out of your lungs at once. Are we ready to go? Okay, breathe in, hold it, 1, 2, 3. All at once, breathe out. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so we're going to do that 2 more times. Breathe in, hold it. All at once, breathe out. Very, very good. Well done, SARS and Mars. I'm proud of you. So that is deep breathing exercise. When you practice it once or 2 times, we call that the pause. I'll tell you a little more about the pause when we get to relaxation. But when you practice it up to 15 times, then that is you engaging your rest and relaxation units so that your body can go into a restful mode and you can relax and sleep. So another tip I'm going to be sharing is that we can play sleep sounds. Sleep sounds are any sounds you find relaxing. For some people, it is a sound of nature, like water flowing, birds chirping, and other similar sounds. The sound of the wind, the sound of the ocean. But for some other people, it's slow-paced music, like Mozart, not all Mozart, some classical music, like Enya, Yanni. Some people find those relaxing. And for some people, like my papa, they find praise and worship songs relaxing. Yes, worship songs. They play gospel music all through the night and they find that relaxing. So any sounds that you find relaxing, just play them at night. I know this may be difficult this period without sufficient power supply to charge our devices. But when you do have the power, you can go ahead and play sleep sounds. They help you relax and they help you fall asleep faster when you wake up to ease yourself. That's true. Let me teach you another trick. When you wake up at night to ease yourself, please don't check your phone. Yes, you want to know the time, but the truth is, when you know the time, how does it help you? You want to know the time so you know how many hours you have left to sleep. Tell me the truth. Do you actually control the number of hours, control the depth of the sleep that you are going to have? No. No, sir. No, ma. You're not controlling the amount of sleep you have, or the quantity, or the quality, or the depth of the sleep that you have. So knowing the time does not really serve us. It only makes us more anxious as to whether or not we have enough time to sleep before morning. So we recommend that you do not check your phone. Also, the light from your phone will make your brain think it is daytime, it is morning, and it will wake your body up. So we recommend that when you wake up at night, thank God it's your house, so you know where you are going to ease yourself, right? So We also, for those who need the lights to be on in the restroom, you can turn on the lights in your restroom and keep the door closed. So the light does not disturb you in your room when you're asleep. That's for those who have to have the lights on. But we recommend that if you must have the lights on, please use a red bulb. That's the most friendly light, the red bulb. Not just any colored bulb, but the red bulb. That's the most friendly light that we can recommend that will not wake you up too much. Yes? And when you wake up to ease yourself, hold on to your sleep. Yes, it's possible. Hold on to your sleep. Yes, it will help. Another recommendation I can make is that towards evening, from 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., you can reduce the amount of water you take. Yes, when we get to nutrition, we're going to tell you about taking water. So we'll discuss that a little more there so that we don't spend too much time on this. Now, another thing about our sleep is that when we sleep well, it improves our appetite. We're not craving unnecessarily. Our appetite is healthier when we sleep better. Also, our energy levels are better when we sleep better. Okay, so let me share a few more tips. So for your bedtime routine, you can take any 3 of these tips I have shared already. Turn off your electronic devices, take a stroll or do some stretches, take a warm bath, take 15 deep breaths, play sleep sounds. You can take any 3 of them and then practice them in the same order every night. And that will become your bedtime routine. Your body will just know, once you start doing those things, your body will just know that it is time to sleep and it will activate the rest parts of your body, of your systems. Okay? Other tips are use comfortable beddings. Use bed sheets that you find comfortable. Breathable bed sheets. We recommend that you use breathable bed sheets so it doesn't make you sweat at night. Have a morning routine. When you have a morning routine, it is easier for you to get up at the same time. Because for you to go to bed, for you to get the best of your sleep, for your good sleep hygiene, you should go to bed at the same time every night and get up in the morning at the same time every morning. We also recommend that you do not lie down on your bed when you don't want to sleep. We recommend that your bed should only be for sleep and for sex. When you want to relax, just rest without going to sleep. Please do not lie down on your bed. When you want to read a book or do any other thing, please do not stay on your bed to do that. So that your body understands the message that whenever I lie down on my bed, it is for me to go to sleep. Okay, so have a morning routine. Your morning routine can be you wake up, you do a meditation, you take a shower, or you wake up, you brush your teeth first so you don't sleep off. You do your meditation or devotion, you do exercises, then you take your breakfast. It can be any combination you like. Just make sure that it is the same practice every day. We also recommend that you do not sleep in on the weekends. You have to wake up at the same time every day for your body to understand that this is your wake-up time. If you want to get more sleep, wake up, do your morning routine, then go back to bed. Wake up, do your morning routine, then go back to bed and sleep. Okay? Okay. Thank you, sirs and mas. Another tip is for you to use an Another tip is for you to use an orthopedic mattress or a semi-orthopedic mattress. It helps you sleep better. It helps your body, your aging body. Okay? You can use a sleep mask to keep the lights out while you are asleep. Also, you should sleep on your back or your sides, not on your stomach. Doctors recommend that for people 60 and above, you should sleep on your back or on your sides, whichever one you find more comfortable. Then I already mentioned that we should turn the lights out. I'd like to know if anyone has any questions for this section for sleep. If you do not have any questions, then we can carry on. Any questions?
Hello, ma.
Yes, sir.
I think it's just a little observation. I think going to the restroom at night requires that you have light, because sometimes, in some cases, in a few places, we have had a situation where reptiles like snakes can get into, can filter their waste into the restroom. So normally, when I want to go into the restroom, even if there's light, I have a very small torch that is not very bright. I just point it at it to look at it, and that is safe, before I sit on it.
Okay, that's great. Since it's not too bright, that helps. Because the brighter the light, then the more it's going to wake your brain up. That works well too, sir. You can also use the red light in your bathroom if that is available for you. Because the red light is known to be more friendly than the white lights, the conventional bulbs.
Right. Then I want to ask, there are some people who will tell you they can't sleep without light on.
Yes, for them, that's already normal. They're used to it. So what you can do for them is they can wear sleep masks.
Okay.
And then they can keep a red light on instead of the bright white light.
Okay. Or probably use... Yes, okay. All right.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, Papa. Okay. Any other questions? Do we have any other questions? Okay, we move on. Wellness behaviors, nutrition. Nutrition is very important, particularly as we age. What we eat, everything that goes into our mouths is fuel for our bodies. And just like here in Nigeria, well, just like with machines, we have different kinds of fuel. We have, if our cars, for example, let me use our cars as an example. Or let me use our generators as an example. Which one is better? Let me use our cars as an example. The car uses a particular type of petrol, PMS, in the fuel tank. It uses engine oil in a part of the engine. It uses water in another part of the engine. These are already three different things. Three different kinds of fuel that the vehicle uses to move. Yeah? The same thing applies to our bodies. Our bodies need different kinds of fuels to perform different kinds of functions. And there are some fuels that it needs in small amounts, like the water that a car will use. If you compare the amount of water that a car uses or coolant that a car uses to the amount of fuel that it uses, it's not the same. The amount of engine oil a car uses is not the same with the amount of petrol that it will use because they serve different functions. It's the same thing for our bodies. There are some nutrients, some vitamins and minerals that our bodies use it in small amounts. And then there are some nutrients like carbohydrates, fiber, and protein that our body uses in higher amounts. And of course, there are some nutrients like water that our body uses in greater amounts. As a senior, we recommend that you take water about 2.5 to 3 liters in a day. For ease of measurement, for those of us that take the sachet water, pure water is 50 cl each. That means you have to drink 5 or 6 sachets of water in a day. Now, of course, there are some meals that we take that already have water in them. Some of our cereals have water in them. Some soups, like pepper soup, have a lot of fluid in them. So you can add that in your calculation. What is important is just that you take 2.5 to 3 liters of fluid in a day. Even sometimes we take fruits and juices. Those two add up to the quantity of fluids that we take in a day. But what is important is that amongst all those fluids, water is a part of it. So, apart from water, what other nutrients, what other foods, types of foods do we need to take in specific portions? Fruits. We're supposed to take 5 to 7 portions of fruits and vegetables in a day. To make this easier, we recommend that you eat at least 2 fruits in a day. By the time you eat 2 different fruits in a day, even if you eat only a little of each, you would have taken up to 2 portions of 2 servings of fruits and vegetables. For bananas, the longer bananas, 1 finger is 1 serving. For apples, 1 big apple is 1 serving. For fruits that you can chop, like watermelon and pawpaw and pineapples, if you put, imagine a handful, a heaped handful, that's about 1 portion, 1 serving of fruits and vegetables. We also recommend that you eat vegetables with all your meals. This way, you are going to get as much of the vegetables that you need. Another thing is that
Forget that.
can we hear me?
Lectures we are supposed to.
Yes, please.
Okay, ma. I needed to be sure. All right. Thank you, ma. So, for fruits and vegetables also contain fiber, which is very good for our digestive system.
Just press someone.
Like I mentioned before, just a moment. I need to mute. Okay, I need to mute someone. Thank you. Okay. So, like I mentioned before, some people, just a moment, I'm sorry. I'm finding that distracting. Okay, that is taken care of now. Thank you. So, fiber, like I mentioned before, as we grow older, some organs and systems in our bodies are not as effective as they used to be. So we have to bear that in mind as we grow and as we age. Bearing that in mind, we should now be eating foods and food types that will help our bodies function better. That is why we recommend fruits and vegetables and oats, cereals and whole grains too. They are very good sources of fiber and then vitamins and minerals that are needed for our bodies. So like I said, eat at least 2 fruits in a day, have vegetables with every single meal, then eat every 3 to 4 hours. You are wondering, if I'm supposed to be eating less, why am I eating 3 to 4 hours? When you eat every 3 to 4 hours, it will quicken your metabolism over time. Your metabolism is the rate at which your body digests the food you eat. When you spend too many hours before you eat, your body is going to slow down your metabolism because it feels like we're in famine. You know, I told us that our brains will adjust with every experience we have. As we go through life, our brains adjust. So our bodies also take signals from the brain. And when we wait extended periods, when we wait long periods before we eat, then our bodies assume that food is not very available. And so it slows down the rate at which it digests and absorbs the food, the fuel that we take in. But when we eat every 3 to 4 hours, then our bodies will quicken the metabolism. That way, they would absorb faster the nutrients and the food that we eat. It will process it and absorb it faster. I hope we understand this, Saz and Mars. Eat more fish and poultry. Poultry is chicken and turkey. Okay? Eat more fish and poultry. They are considered lean meats. They are better options than beef. Okay? And they eat more nuts and beans for protein. Yes, we know that beans are partially carbohydrates and partially protein, but they are still a better option than other grains like rice that are completely carbohydrates. That is why beans is a better option. Then eat cereals and whole grains like oats, wheat, and brown rice. Brown rice, wheat, and oats are recommended because they don't go through as much processing as white rice and some other grains. When a feed goes through a lot of processing, some of the vitamin content and the mineral contents of that food are lost in the process as it is manufactured, as it is reprocessed, as it is, what's the word? I'm looking for another word for process. While it goes through that process, Sha.
Grinded.
Thank you, ma'am. As it goes through the refining and the blending, it loses some of the vitamins and minerals that are helpful to our body. So it's better to eat brown rice because brown rice goes through less processing than white rice. Oats and wheat too go through less processing than some other grains. Then minimize salt and sugar intake. Yes, because too much salt affects our blood pressure. Too much sugar also is not good for our bodies, even as we grow older. Remember, we're trying to provide support for our aging systems so that they can work at their best and serve us at their best for as long as we're around. Okay, so that is all for nutrition. Do we have any questions before I go into exercising?
Hello, ma.
Yes, sir.
Where does basmati rice come in here? It's white.
Yes, it's white. And it's long grain rice. I'm going to have to research that further and update you. Let me find out if not Mariah knows. Ma, do you know about basmati rice? Is it more processed than brown rice or less processed than brown rice?
Rice is rice, right? But however, basmati rice is known to have low carbohydrate or starch, right? The process of its refining, let me use that word, it's not properly polished like we have with the other forms of rice that we have, right? So it is less worked on than the other rice that we know. So that's why you discover that most nutritionists would prefer that you do basmati rice as against the normal polished rice.
Thank you. Thank you, ma. Thank you, sir. So that puts it in the same category with brown rice, like the other more whole grains.
Yeah, with the brown rice, the fiber is still intact. Okay. Right. So with the brown rice, you still have it with its fiber, and the fiber helps with digestion.
Okay. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, ma. Okay. Any other questions on nutrition? All right.
Hello, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I remember. Talking about eating about 4 times a day.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Do we relate that to portion control?
Yes. Yes, that is very, very connected to portion control.
Very true.
Because you really did not mention the part that in small portions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Please. And then does it need to be at regulated times or not necessarily?
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm glad you mentioned that so that I can do better justice to this. So, yes, please. Portion control is important. Even though you are eating up to 4 times, you don't have to have whole meals for the 4 times. So some of the times you eat, it will be your fruits you are eating, or even a salad. It can be a fruit salad, it can be a vegetable salad. This will also go a long way in achieving more fruits and vegetables in your diet. Another thing is that we can also remember we mentioned nuts, we mentioned cereals, we mentioned oatmeal. So these are also options of things that we can eat. And healthy snacks are fruits, nuts, cucumbers, garden egg, watermelon. Those are things that are available and they're readily available and healthy to eat, to snack on. So when we say you should eat every 3 to 4 hours, this does not mean that you should eat whole meals and large portions at every mealtime. And yes, please, eating at specific times of the day, regulated, is also very good for a healthy diet. Your breakfast, usually recommended, is when you, depending on when you wake up, we recommend between 8 and 9 a.m. Then your lunch can be anytime between, you can have lunch at say 12, and then have a snack at about 3 or 4. And then depending on your bedtime, you can make sure that you've had your dinner before 6 p.m., depending on your bedtime. So these are the recommended time zones of time areas of the day that we say it's better to have your meals. And please have your meals at the same time every day. I know it can be difficult for someone who does not have the same routine every day. We're coming to that in relaxation. Yeah. So of course there will be days maybe when you travel, and there will be days that you can't meet up because of your schedule. But as much as possible, for the other days, you maintain the same schedule. You eat remember, you're going to bed at the same time, you're getting up at the same time, you're doing your exercises at the same time already, you're having your meals at the same time too. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Maz. So, does anyone have any other questions on nutrition? Please ask your questions. You can see that it helps us to share more information and shed more light on these matters. Please,
good morning, ma.
Ask your question. Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma. I really appreciate the knowledge that you've been sharing with us, especially we, the senior citizens.
My pleasure,
but
sir.
To be very honest with you, because they say it's when you confess your sins before you will be forgiven.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I am guilty. I take my dinner very late. Sometimes I take my dinner at 2 a.m., to be very honest with you. Yes, I need to be honest, because if I don't say it, when I come back, I will get so tired. Sometimes I will sleep before I wake up and eat. So what is the long-term effect on it? Because at least I have heard that it is not good that I must take my dinner before bed. Because I'm somebody that my nights, almost all the time I stay awake, doing one thing or the other. To be very honest, because 7 days from Monday to Sunday, if I lie to you that I sleep 8 hours in the night, God will punish me for that, because sometimes I sleep, but the most important thing is sometimes I augment in the afternoon to sleep like 2 hours or rest like 2 hours in a day before that night. So now, what is the long-term effect of this taking my dinner very, very late? So that maybe if I hear the consequences, I will find a way of changing it. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Sir, beyond telling you the consequences, if it's okay by you, I would like to know what your typical day is like. If I know what your typical day is like, I can help you to find convenient ways within your schedule, possible ways within your schedule to adjust and implement the healthy practices we're talking about. Because fear is one emotion. So even if I tell you the consequences and make you afraid, you are concerned, but what are you going to do about it? If I don't give you the guide on how you can improve, the fear is just going to come and pass. So if you would please tell me what your typical day is like, and I'll be able to guide you. Like you mentioned already that you get home late. So one of the things I'm going to be recommending is, depending on the time you close, you may have to be having your dinner at work. So please let me hear you, sir. What's your typical day schedule like?
Well, my average day is I can say I always find one thing or the other doing throughout the day.
Okay.
But like I rightly said, sometimes I squeeze like 2 hours out of my busy schedule to ensure that I rest. I silence my phone. I cover it for that 2 hours. I disconnect my mind towards that phone for that 2 hours. I know I do it actually. Then after the 2 hours, I'll pick my phone. I'll apologize to those I missed their calls and continue from there. Then the truth is, in as much as I'm healthy, I don't like staying idle without doing anything. If I'm not doing, because I'm still a government employee, if I'm not doing government work, I will be doing another thing for myself because I'm working towards my retirement. I've started preparing for it. So definitely, I don't have idle days. To be honest with you, I don't have idle days, including weekends. Because now as I'm talking to you, I just come on break. That's why I even joined the meeting late. I'm on duty presently. So that is how my day used to be.
Okay, sir. So let me do it this way. Let me recommend to you, sir. Now, first of all, we need to agree that your dinner, you're going to have it before 6.
Okay.
Now, for you to be able to have your dinner before 6, it means you have planned for it before that time. Now, for your dinner, I don't know what is more accessible to you in your area. I don't know if you can get maybe a salad. If you can, in fact, are you able to take food from home to work? So are you able to take food?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
good.
it's possible, but I have not been doing it, but it's possible.
Okay, sir. So since you can take food to work with you, then you can plan it. So you know that you have your breakfast at home, you go to work with your lunch and your dinner. Now, to make it easier and more convenient, your dinner would have to be things like fruits and vegetables. That's fruits or salad. So the day you eat fruits, to make it more realistic, the day you eat fruits, you won't do salad. The day you do salad, you won't do fruits. That way, you have options. So your lunch is going to be your normal lunch, but it must be loaded with vegetables. Remember, we've already said that your lunch should have vegetables. So you have your dinner before 6 p.m., say 5:30, so that when you get home, whenever you get home, so I see you shaking your head. That is a challenge. Okay. So since that is a challenge, you can pick another time around that time that works for you. You know, you are the one with your schedule, so you know.
Challenges are meant to be taken. Challenges are meant to be taken. So
yes,
I'm just reasoning on how to face that challenge. That is just the fact. It's not as if it is impossible.
Sir.
Yes,
Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear it's not impossible, sir.
Your Excellency, sir. This you have to abide by. Long-time effects of you taking late dinner can allow store fats in your abdomen, and you see a lot of people who, with due apologies to some of them, you see a lot of people with abdominal fats. These are long-time effects, right? And when you have late dinners, can you hear me, please?
Yes,
ma'am.
I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Loud and clear.
So when you have late dinners, you put your digestive system at more work when it's supposed to be resting. Remember, we've learned about sleep routine earlier. And when you are supposed to be sleeping, you were eating, right? You have put more work on your digestive system when it's supposed to be resting. So now the energy is not burnt out. The carbohydrates the nutrients, the body tend to absorb it, but they are not burnt out. One of the reasons why you eat early, again, is, okay, take for instance, you're eating by 6 p.m. You will still have active activities that will help break down those food before your bedtime, such that absorption of the nutrients would have started taking place. So now you should not have dinner at 2 a.m. Your Excellency, did you get that? Please don't have
yes,
dinner
loud and clear, ma.
at 2 a.m. because you would give your digestive system more work to do when it's supposed to be resting. And as such, absorption now will not really take place because you will not burn those food nutrients. Carbohydrates will not be burnt. Fat will not be burnt. The fat that is not burnt will store under the skin. The glucose that will not burn will store in the pancreas and the rest. Do we understand that? So
Yes, ma.
early meals, early dinner helps quick breakdown of the meals so that the one the body is going to use would have started to be absorbed. The one is going to burn out would burn out probably when you take an evening stroll. We learned that, already when we're learning about sleep. You can take a stroll. As you do that, you're breaking down, you're helping the food to break down. And so you should please not have dinner at 2 a.m. Your Excellency, I beg you, sir.
I promise you I have changed. I have repented from now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So, like we're saying, if you are able to go to work with your lunch and dinner, it will go a long way in helping you achieve it. As opposed to finding yourself trying to maybe at 6 o'clock you didn't come with the food. They are now looking around and trying to see what can I have. At that point, it's donut and meat pie you will see, sir. But if you bring the food from home, then you'll be able to eat healthily, and it will go a long way in promoting your health. Yes, okay, sir. So I hope
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate, and God will bless you all.
Amen. Amen. You're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
All right. So do we have any questions, sirs or ma'ams, on nutrition? Okay. So let's go on to exercise. Exercising. I'm sure you have been hearing a lot about exercising. What does exercising do for you, Seth? Why is it so important? Why does everybody keep shouting exercising? Okay, first of all, I want you to know that exercising kickstarts supports most of our body's processes. One that we just talked about is the digestion. When in the days of old, in those days, our fathers and the fathers before them, they spent more physical energy than we do now. And because they spent so much physical energy, they needed to consume a lot of carbohydrates and all of that, and they needed to consume so much food for energy. Now, we are still consuming a lot of food for energy, but we're not using all the energy that we consume in our typical day-to-day activities of this time. So, exercising helps us to fill up that gap of physical activity. Exercising strengthens our bodies. It makes our bones and our muscles stronger. Remember what I said earlier about if you don't use it, you are going to lose it. The same thing applies to our bones and our muscles. If you don't use it, you are going to lose it. So when you use it, when we exercise, we keep our muscles and our bones in good condition. Think about a machine that you don't use for a long time, that you abandon. You leave it alone, dust and cobweb cover it. When you come back and you want to use it, is it going to work the same way? No. You are going to need to service it. After you clean it, you still service it. And God will help you. One part there has not rusted. So, sirs and mans, it is very important that we exercise every day. You're wondering why am I saying every day? The doctor said only 3 times a week, 4 times a week is enough, every other day is enough. We recommend every day because remember what we said from the beginning. Practice, practice, practice. It is what you do every day that your body will get used to faster. So every day is much better than 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and even every other day. And when you are practicing this every day, you will not have to do so much every single day. If you are doing 25 to 30 minutes of walking, even if it's just walking, you're just walking. That's good enough. You take a brisk walk in the morning, or you jog, or you go swimming on some days of the week, maybe once a week, you swim. Please, whatever exercise you are doing apart from walking, confirm from your doctor that you are able. Get your doctor's approval, sir. Get your doctor's approval, ma, before you engage in any exercises, please. I'm aware that some of us have health conditions. Please always get your doctor's approval before you do any exercising beyond walking. But until you see your doctor the next time, please take a walk every day. It will help you. Exercising, particularly outdoors, also gives us access to sunlight. And sunlight helps the production of vitamin D, which is a very critical vitamin in our bodies, particularly as we age. Vitamin D and vitamins B are very, very important for us, particularly as we age. So start easy and build up. Start from something simple. The first time you take a walk, you don't have to do it for the 30 minutes. Remember that with each time you do it, because of the brain's neuroplasticity, every time you do it, it becomes easier because you are strengthening that connection. So start. The first day, go walk for 10 minutes and come back. The second day, push it to 12 minutes and come back. The third day, 15 minutes. Before you know it, you are getting to 30 minutes every day. And for those who have the time, you can even get to 1 hour every day. So, and I also recommended yoga. For those of us who do meditation practices, you can do yoga. It's also very good. Remember I mentioned stretches earlier. Stretches are also a good form of exercise for bedtime. And even for other times, when we stretch, we help our muscles get more blood flow. And remember that it is the blood flow, the circulation, that keeps all these muscles in good use. When we exercise, we're just improving circulation. That's the major assignment that exercising does. And circulation is what makes sure all the other processes of the body are going on. It is circulation that makes sure that all the nutrients from our stomach get to other parts of our body. It is circulation that makes sure that the water we take in gets to other parts of our bodies that it is needed. It is circulation that makes us able to move our bodies, the different parts of our bodies. It is circulation that makes sure that the little hormones that serve different functions in our body gets to all the places that they are going to. Circulation is what keeps the body going. That is why our blood pressure is also very important. This is a good place to say, make sure you get your vitals checked regularly. For some of us, every week, for those of us that have pre-existing conditions. For the rest of us, every 2 weeks is okay, as long as you have the time, please. Okay, that's all for exercising. Does anyone have any questions about exercising before we go to relaxation?
Hello, ma.
Yes, sir.
I have watched a few clips on exercising the eyes, exercising the tongue, exercising, and there's I don't know what they would call this. I don't know if
the arms?
I'm trying to have my is my video on?
Yes, sir. the arms.
Okay. That you do it like this. 9 times, something like that.
Okay.
9 times.
Okay.
Times something, and then clapping exercise. Yes, they call it clapping exercise. I've heard of that too. Different things.
Okay.
How relevant are these things? Thank you.
Okay. They are particularly relevant for people who don't get any activity at all. As we speak, our tongues are already in action. That is an exercise for the tongue. But for the other parts of the body, clapping, for example, is a good exercise for someone who doesn't get to move their bodies a lot. And yes, they are very relevant. So even, in fact, they are very good because they are also indoor exercises. Because there will be times of the year when we cannot go out because of the rain. So at times like that, we can do these indoor exercises. By doing this, there are just easier ways to make sure that blood flow is getting to those places. And remember, the major assignment of exercising is blood flow. So they are good too.
Where is that?
Thanks a million.
You're welcome, Papa.
Sorry, I'm sorry. There's one other thing. The breathing in, the breathing exercise.
Yes.
Also, I'm aware it also helps reduce blood pressure.
Yes.
Are you aware of that?
But at the moment, only at the time you are breathing, you are doing the exercise.
Well, all I know is, when you check your BP, for instance, is at that time you are checking it. Does that make sense? Now,
yes, I understand.
If you check your BP now, whatever it is, do that breathing exercise 2-3 times. Come back and check it. You will see it has gone down.
Yes, that's true, because it has relaxed your body. So for someone who wants to add that to the other things they practice to reduce blood pressure, they can do these breathing exercises regularly.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank God we're in relaxation. Yes, I thought I was going to mention the pause. Thank you, sir. I thought I was going to mention the pause in relaxation. Let me start with learn to take things easy. As we age, we realize that our bodies cannot do as much as they used to do. And even for the things they can do, our bodies cannot do those things as fast as they used to do them. And some of us find it difficult. Some of us may find it frustrating. I'm here to tell you that life is in phases, and that this phase that we get to, where we cannot function at the level we were functioning before, is just another phase. And for us to make the most out of this phase, we have to take it easy. Truth is, what are you in a hurry to do anyways? Usually by this phase of life, you have done so much that whatever you are doing at this point is kind of like Jara. It is for contentment purpose. It is for satisfaction purposes. It is for fun purposes. You're no longer obliged or obligated or saddled with so many responsibilities that you were saddled with years ago. So at this point, it is important to just relax and take things easy. This helps your mental state. When we relax and we experience life this moment at a time, each moment at a time, it reduces the anxiety we experience. And when our bodies are relaxed, then even it helps better the production of the hormones that will make our bodies feel better. As opposed to when we're anxious and there's tension in our muscles, it will make them tense and it will make them ache over time when they are tense for long periods. But when we take things easy, even our body gets the message that there's no hurry and everything is okay. Be kind to your body. We recommend that you exercise, but this does not mean that you would go from lifting small weights like this to lifting big weights that are like 10-liter jerry cans. When we say be kind to your body, we mean that you should do things gradually. You may remember that with exercising, I said you start small and then you build up. This is very important for anything that you're trying. If you're learning a new skill, you're developing a new hobby, hobbies and interests are very, very important at this phase. Particularly for those who have retired and do not have the typical 9-to-5 schedule anymore. Make sure you find things that you enjoy doing and you do them, because productivity is important for our physical and our mental health. So what you are doing now, you're no longer doing it to be the best at it. You are doing it because you enjoy it. So please do things that you enjoy. For some people, it's knitting, it's making crochets, it's reading books, it's taking care of little children, cooking. Yes, you may notice that I'm mentioning things that you can usually do in the comfort of your home. Yes, even those things are very important. Because the satisfaction that comes from productivity is a good boost for your mental health. Many people slip into depression as a result of inactivity and lack of productivity. Also, stay in touch with your friends and family. This is what we mean by spend time with loved ones. When we interact with... Ma'am?
Old friends alive. We have that in Rehoboth.
Yes, old friends alive. That's true. And that's one of the things that Rehoboth does for us that keeps us going. Please, Ma, tell us a little about this so that we don't miss the opportunity later.
Yeah, so I like this particular wellness behavior tip, relaxation, because it's one of the things that we very seriously at RCAC. We had the 50 plus hangouts last week, right? A cluster we had a cluster of because it's the International Women's Day, right? The first cluster was basically for women, 10 women, and we created fun activities. I must tell you, I think some of them are on the call right now. I could see them interested in building, in finding, in rediscovering themselves, right? So for the 50 plus hangout, after today's session, we are going to start cluster 2 and 3 so that we begin to build more network. Connecting people with people is the goal for 50 plus hangouts. And it's a very good way to relax, because when you have group of people come together, right, they build themselves up, they learn new skills, they spend time, they engage in new hobbies, right? And so we also have the Old Friends Alive as one of the activities we do at Rehoboth. The Old Friends Alive is connecting you back to your friends of many years. So I think that I love this particular thing. I look forward to us building so many activities connected to relaxation with this wellness behavior. Thank you, Molabo.
My pleasure, Ma. Awesome. I'm looking forward to this too. Yes. So another thing is when you learn new skills, remember the new connections I mentioned earlier, it keeps your brain alive. It keeps dementia, Alzheimer's, and that range of mental illnesses away, because your brain is still active. You see, the degenerative brain illnesses happen because some parts of the brain are not in use. But when you learn new skills and you engage your hobbies, then your brain is kept alive. It is working. So you don't lose it. Then travel as much as you can afford to for those who like to travel. For those who like to travel. You see, traveling is like a form of education. When you go to new places, you see new people, your mind is exposed to new perspectives of life. You try out new foods, you see things you haven't seen before, you hear accents, people speaking languages that you have not heard before. It opens up our brains and our minds to different things. It creates many new connections in our brains, and that is very good too. And my final tip here is have fun. Like I said, at this blessed phase of life, you don't have as many responsibilities and obligations as you did before. For many people, they're not able, thank God society is improving. For many people, they are not able to come into themselves and live for themselves until they get to this senior citizen phase of life. So this is when, for many people at the beginning of their lives, they were living for their parents. And then by the next phase of their life, they were living for their nuclear family, the family that they were part of procreating. And then after that, they now finally get to this retirement phase where they can live for themselves, and then they come into their own, and then they start doing things that they enjoy, and they start doing things that they wanted to do all their life. This is a time to just enjoy yourself and have fun. Mentor young people. It's also a good way to achieve productivity, because then you can directly feel the value that you are adding. So these are the tips I'm going to be sharing today. Thank you very much for your attention. I am honored and blessed to have the privilege to speak to such great daddies and mommies today. Thank you so much, sirs and ma'ams. I am grateful. If you have any other questions, I'll be glad to take them. If you have any comments, any feedback, any contributions, I'll be delighted to hear them. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
My pleasure, ma.
Thank you very,
God
very
bless
much.
you.
I really appreciate, God Almighty continue to reward you abundantly for
Amen.
drawing
Amen.
our
You're
attention
welcome,
in some
sir.
cases and teaching us new things in some other cases. We really appreciate.
Thank you, sir. I'm honored. Thank you, sir. Amen.
Thank you very much.
And for my auntie,
thank you, ma.
I say God will continue to reward you for all that you are doing for the 50s and above. And God, whenever you grow older than 60, God will be there for you and your families also. God reward you abundantly. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Great
Thank
lessons.
you so much.
Great lessons learned. And I personally will put quite a lot of them into practice. but I want to implore you, remembering that most of us are senior citizens, that if only we can have your recordings, it will help us further, so that we can have we can go back and listen. Thank you. God bless you.
Yes, sir. You get them. Rehoboth takes good care of that for you. And they also share I believe you're on the group, so they share tips. These tips are reminder regularly. I think Saturday mornings too. You get reminders and all of those. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Mommy, I think I heard your voice. I was looking for you since.
Yes,
you did. How
are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
So great to hear you teach us these things again and again. I pray I'll be able to practice the exercises.
I'm looking forward to it, ma. Thank you.
Sister Morayo, thank you too.
I'm so
for
grateful.
making out time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Morayo, thank you.
God bless you.
Morayo, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your Excellency. I'm so
I enjoyed the
grateful.
program. Thank you.
Thank you
Bless
very
you.
much. Yes,
We'll
I'm
talk
so
later.
grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Happy Molabo. We are happy with what she has done with us. I see we all enjoyed ourselves today. We learned so much, the deep breathing exercise, all the illustrations, the questions, the contributions. Thank you so much. You see why I say she's Happy Molabo, right? She has made every one of us happy. Thank you very much. And before I forget, she's also a volunteer at Rehoboth Center for Elderly Care. She's always open to give psychological support, emotional support, counseling. She dropped us a video right now. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we can go back to that. The recording of today's session will be shared with every one of us that participated in this program today. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing every one of us at April Town Hall session. We'll be learning something new, in that in the month of April. In fact, you can't wait you should not miss that session, right? For April Town Hall session. Thank you. Remember, we have so many activities for you. We send you healthy tips. Please take time to read those tips that we send to you. And if you don't get it from the closed WhatsApp group, you get it from our broadcast list, or you can also read it on the blog. I think that my team is already sharing the link to our website. You can go there and read more about healthy tips that can keep you in good health, right? You can send us questions if you have any questions, right? You can send questions to us. Join our activities when you see us share it. We are going to start cluster 2, right? We had stylish aging. Cluster 2 is going to be a new name entirely. Wait for it. You'll soon see the link on how you can register. Please remember, all our activities are free. All the services we render are free. We have a lot of people who are supporting us in this job that we do. Happy Molabo is one of them. She has been supporting us from day one. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We have a lot of people who also support us financially. The Zoom section we are having right now, the TRLH, right? They are the ones who have given us free access to their network, and so many other that have been supporting us. We sincerely appreciate every one of you for your time, right? We hope to see you in April when we'll be discussing another interesting topic that will keep you in good health, in sound mind. Remember that we love you and we are always here for you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all in April. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. We love you too.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
God bless you all.
Thank you very much once again, Sister Morayo. God will continue to bless you. And when we see eyeball to eyeball, by God's grace, I will see how I will link with your organization to also give my little quota to the society, because humanitarian service is my religion.
Thank you, Ambassador. I'm so grateful,
So
sir.
I will see what I will share with people from the little that I know. God will continue to bless you. When we see face to face, we will discuss that one, God's willing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye. Thank you. Mama Fumi, I'm seeing you all the way from UCH Ibadan. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, my sister. God bless you, ma.
Wow, thank you, Auntie Salama too. I'm so grateful.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you, Mama Becky. I can see you. Thank you, Grandma Ajanaku. Wow, thank you, everybody. I'm so grateful. So happy to see you all. Who have I not mentioned their name today? Thank you. Oh, my mother-in-laws. Wow, thank you all. Thank you very much. Mama Vic, thank you, ma'am.
Thank God
Thank you.
for the good work.
I'm so grateful, ma. Thank you. Love you all.
Love you
I can
too.
see you, Mama Chioma. Thank you too. Wow, thank you very much. Oh, my dearest husband, thank you. I can see you too.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. I can see everybody. God bless you all. See you all in April. If I've not mentioned your name, it's not that I didn't see you. I really appreciate you all. Thank you. See you all in April. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.